Have you ever met someone who earned well, but was always struggling financially? Maybe that's even your own story. Every month the salary hits the account, but it seems to vanish. The electricity bill isn't even due, the credit card hasn't been paid, and the money is already gone. It's frustrating. But there's a truth almost no one told you, and it changes everything. Getting rich doesn't depend on how much you earn. It depends on what you do with what you earn. Robert Kiyosaki insists on this point. He says, the problem isn't your salary amount, it's how you manage it. Because what did school teach us? That if you study hard, get good grades, land a good job, you'll have a comfortable life. But that's not wealth, that's just surviving with bills. The harsh truth is, the system was built to keep you chasing money, not ahead of it. No one teaches you to invest, to build assets, to break free from the cycle. You were trained to be a good employee, not to be free. And that's why so many smart, hard-working, dedicated people remain financially stuck. Because wealth is not built with blind effort, it's built with strategy. So if you feel stuck today, don't blame yourself. You just need to learn what was never taught to you, and that's exactly what we're going to do now. It doesn't matter if you earn 1,000, 5,000, or 10,000 per month. If you don't know where your money is going, it disappears. And it disappears quietly. It doesn't scream, it doesn't warn you, it doesn't ask for permission. It just vanishes. Most people say, if I earned more, everything would be solved. But that's a lie. It's not about earning more, it's about controlling what already comes in. Because if you spend everything you earn, it doesn't matter how much it is. You'll stay in the same place, dependent on your paycheck, stuck at the end of the month, afraid of any unexpected event. The turning point is simple, but it takes courage. Seeing what you don't want to see. Ask yourself an uncomfortable question. How much of my money goes to things I don't need, that don't make me grow, that keep me away from freedom? This question changes everything. Mastering your spending doesn't mean becoming stingy. It means becoming smart. It means cutting waste, automating part of your savings, and turning discipline into habit. Money well used becomes a bridge. Poorly used, it becomes a chain. This is the foundation, and without it, no financial strategy works. Now that you understand the importance of controlling your spending, here comes the next lesson. It's not just about cutting, it's about spending with awareness. Because see, most people spend automatically. The money hits the account and starts leaving without you noticing. It's the little coffee that doesn't count, the impulsive gift, the new phone bought out of vanity, all justified by a dangerous phrase. I deserve it. Of course, you deserve comfort, you deserve moments of pleasure, but you also deserve freedom. And that only comes when every cent that leaves your account has a purpose, a destination, a reason. Robert Kiyosaki teaches that money should work for you, not the other way around. But how can money work if it's being wasted? Every dollar that leaves your wallet without a return is a buried opportunity. Before buying anything, ask yourself a simple, powerful question. Does this bring me closer to financial freedom or take me further away? If the answer is further, take a deep breath and say no. Because spending wisely isn't just about saving, it's about investing your energy in what builds your future. Want a practical example? Instead of spending $40 on new shoes you already have something similar to, why not put that money into an investment fund, a book that changes your mindset, or a course that could open a new income stream? Money wasn't made just to be spent, it was made to grow. And the more awareness you bring to every choice, the faster you escape the rat race and start walking toward freedom. If there's one truth few people want to face, it's this. Your salary is not and never will be enough. You can love your job, get promoted, earn a big bonus, but if you only have one source of income, you live at risk. One company layoff, one illness, one crisis, and everything can collapse. A salary is like one leg holding up a table, fragile. And the rich, they do things differently. They don't bet everything on one card. They build multiple streams of income. According to Kiyosaki, millionaires have an average of 7 different income sources. Yes, 7. And we're not talking about winning the lottery or starting a massive company overnight. We're talking about practical intelligence, a YouTube channel that pays for views, an online course about something you know well, a small rental property, stocks that pay dividends, a simple but profitable digital business, even handcrafted products or occasional consulting. You have talents, you have skills, you have experience. The question is, what can you turn into income? It doesn't have to be grand, it has to be possible, it has to begin. Many people freeze waiting for the perfect moment, but that moment never comes. The people who get rich are those who act with what they have and improve along the way. As long as you trade your time for money, you'll be trapped, because time is limited. But when you create systems, products, or services that work even without your presence, that's when the game changes. And if you think you don't have time, remember this: you work 8 hours a day for someone else's dream. Can't you reserve 1 hour for your own? You don't need to quit everything. You don't need to resign. You don't need to have piles of money saved up. The journey to wealth doesn't start with a leap. It starts with a step. Simple, small, but courageous. Some people spend years waiting for the right time, waiting to have extra money, waiting to know everything, waiting for motivation. But here's what really happens. Life goes by and nothing changes. Robert Kiyosaki says, use your salary as building capital, not as a reward. In other words, stop spending as if your paycheck were a prize. Treat it as a seed you're planting. And planting requires time, discipline, and consistency. So now, look at yourself and ask the right question. What do I already know how to do that can generate value? It could be cooking well, writing content, speaking in public, teaching something you know, fixing things, organizing, planning, creating. All of this can become income if you have the courage to offer it to the world. You could sell meals in your neighborhood, teach online classes, create digital content, do freelance work at night, sell products you've used and trust, help companies with something you know. What matters isn't getting everything right from the start. It's starting. Learning by doing, adjusting as you go. Start small, start simple, but start now. Because every day you postpone is a day you drift further from your freedom. And remember, no one regrets trying to build something of their own. People regret never having tried. Do you really want to get rich? Then you need to learn more about money. It's not that boring kind of school study. It's about learning things you can actually use in real life. How to invest, how to save, how to make your money grow. A lot of people want more money, but they don't learn anything new. They keep making the same mistakes, buying on impulse, getting into debt, being afraid to invest. Robert Kiyosaki says the difference between those who get rich and those who stay stuck is how much they learn about finances. And today, it's easier than ever. There are videos, books, podcasts, all free. You just have to want it. Learning a little each day already makes a difference. One new idea can change everything. The more you know, the better decisions you make. If you want to change your financial life, start by changing what you know about it. This is the painful truth that sets you free. No one is going to build your freedom for you. Not the government, not your boss, not even your family. Waiting for someone to save you financially is the fastest way to stay stuck. You might get help, advice, or support, but in the end, you have to make the decisions. You choose whether to spend or invest, to learn or ignore, to act or delay. Robert Kiyosaki always says, responsibility is the first step toward wealth. When you accept that you're the only one responsible for your financial life, everything changes. You stop blaming others, you stop feeling like a victim, and you start acting with power. And the truth is, that's freeing, because if no one else will do it for you, that means you're in control. You don't need luck, you need a decision. Take the lead. Your life changes the moment you stop waiting and start building. There are so many people who wake up, go to work, pay bills, and do it all over again the next day. Life becomes a cycle. Earn, spend, survive. But living just to pay bills isn't truly living. You were born for more than that. Robert Kiyosaki says this is the system's biggest flaw. It trains you to be a good bill payer, not to be free. You're taught to get a job, but not how to make money work for you. You're taught to consume, but not to invest. Eventually it gets exhausting, and that's when the question hits. Is this really all life has to offer? There's so much more. But to escape that routine, you need to change your relationship with money. You need to stop living on autopilot. Start planning, start saving, start investing, start building something that works for you. Living just to pay bills is settling for half a life. You deserve more, and you can have more if you decide to change. Have you noticed how easily money disappears when you don't have a plan? It comes in, and then it's gone. A snack here, a random purchase there, an unnecessary installment, and suddenly it's all over. And you know why? Because money without a purpose has no direction. Robert Kiyosaki teaches that every penny you earn needs to have a mission. You need to know why you're saving, why you're investing, what you're building. When money has a clear destination, you take better care of it. You think before spending, you make smarter choices. So stop now and ask yourself, what do I want to build with my money? Is it an emergency fund? Freedom to choose where and how you work? A better life for your family? It doesn't matter what your dream is. What matters is giving purpose to every dollar that comes in. Money without purpose slips away. Money with purpose transforms. Some people think being rich means having a luxury car in the garage, an expensive watch on the wrist, designer clothes and fancy dinners every week. But that image of wealth is one of the biggest misconceptions of our generation. You know why? Because many of the people showing off a luxurious life are drowning in debt. They live for appearances, spend more than they earn. They're afraid to even look at their bank statement. Real wealth isn't loud, it's quiet. It's the peace of sleeping well at night, knowing you don't rely on a salary that could disappear at any moment. It's not being afraid of the unexpected because you're prepared. It's being able to say no to what doesn't make sense and yes to what truly matters. Robert Kiyosaki talks a lot about this. Being rich isn't about looking rich, it's about being free. Free to spend more time with the people you love. Free to choose who you want to work with or whether you want to work at all. Free to help your parents, your children, your community. Free to live with purpose, without the rush, without the desperation. And the best part, you don't need to make tons of money for that. You need intelligence, discipline, patience, and long-term vision. Don't compare yourself to people who show off wealth. Compare yourself to who you were yesterday. The real question isn't, what do I have to show others? The real question is, what am I building for my real life? True wealth is when money gives you freedom, not anxiety. When it serves you, not controls you. Want to change your life? Then stop using money just to pay bills and start using it to build freedom. Investing isn't just for the rich, it's for those who think about the future. But there's something important. It's no use investing if you don't know what you're doing. If you put your money anywhere without understanding, you could end up losing it. That's why, before you invest, learn the basics. You don't need to become a financial expert, but you do need to know enough to make good decisions. Here are 3 simple steps. 1. Understand the basics. Learn what a stock is, a real estate fund, fixed income, dividends. Today there's tons of free content online. You just need to start. 2. Invest every month, even if it's just a little. Some people think it only makes sense to invest if you have a lot of money. That's a lie. If you invest $100 or $200 a month, you're already planting something for your future. What matters is consistency, not the amount. 3. Diversify. Don't put everything in one place. Spread your money across different types of investments. That way, if one doesn't perform well, the other can balance it out. And here's a golden tip. Use the automatic investment technique. Pick an amount and set your bank or broker to invest it every month without you needing to remember. This removes the risk of spending before investing. Investing smartly is thinking about tomorrow without giving up today. And investing consistently is what turns small amounts into big results over time. You could have the best financial plan in the world. You might know where to invest, how to save, what to sell, and even have multiple income streams. But if your mind is still stuck in scarcity, none of it will work. Robert Kiyosaki talks a lot about this. Before getting rich in your pocket, you have to get rich in your mind. And what does that mean? It means you need to stop thinking like someone who's just surviving and start thinking like a builder. People with a poor mindset often say, "That's not for me. I'll never be able to do that. Money is for greedy people. I'd rather live without worrying about that." These phrases sabotage your results. Now look at how people who build wealth think. What can I learn from this? How can I make money work for me? What am I doing today that brings me closer to freedom? Who am I spending time with, and what am I absorbing from them? A rich mind looks for solutions. A poor mind looks for excuses. And the good news, mindset can be trained. You train it by reading books, watching uplifting content, talking with people who think big, and most importantly, by changing your internal dialogue. Because the way you speak to yourself defines how far you'll go. Want to build real wealth? Start mastering the one asset no one can take from you, your mind. Money can be lost and regained, but lost time never comes back. And what many people don't realize is that they waste their time like they've got a backup life in the drawer. Hours and hours on social media, binge-watching series, empty conversations, endless distractions, while their dreams sit on pause. Robert Kiyosaki teaches that the rich are time strategists. They use time as an investment. They know where to put their energy, focus, and attention. It's not that they work more, they work with more intention. So here's a question that could change your week. What did you do in the last 24 hours that brought you closer to the life you want? If the answer is nothing or almost nothing, that's okay. But from today on, something needs to change. Turn 1 hour a day into learning, into creation, into action. Read a book, study finances, record a video, offer a service, build something simple, write down ideas. 1 hour a day might sound like little, but it adds up to 365 hours a year. That's over 9 full weeks focused solely on growth. What would you do with 9 weeks free to build your freedom? The problem isn't the lack of time, it's the misuse of it. Those who learn to use time as an ally build freedom even with little money in their pocket. You've probably heard the phrase, "You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with." It's true, and when it comes to money, it matters even more. If you hang out with people who only complain, live in debt, mock those who study finance, and believe wealth is just for greedy people, guess what? Soon you'll think and act the same way. But if you start spending time with people who talk about growth, share investment tips, discuss business, books, and strategies, your standards rise. You start seeing opportunities where you once saw problems. You start thinking bigger, acting differently, and making better decisions. Your circle is an invisible asset or a silent liability. Here's a direct piece of advice. Protect your focus, protect your energy, protect your dreams. It's not about abandoning friends. It's about surrounding yourself with people who pull you up, not keep you stuck. Today, with the internet, you can build that circle even if no one around you thinks like you do. Watch videos from people who've already achieved what you want. Join groups, follow mentors, read authors who expand your vision. Your environment shapes your behavior, and your behavior defines your results. Want to change your life? Start by choosing better who you walk with. A lot of people finish a video like this and say, "Nice, I'll think about it." But then they do nothing. And what happens? They go back to their routine, they forget the ideas, and life stays the same. But you can't afford that anymore. If you've made it this far, it's because something inside you already wants to change. And the truth is simple. Either you act now, or you keep living the same way. It's not about waiting for motivation. It's about building discipline. It's not about having extra money. It's about doing the best with what you have today. It doesn't matter if you start with $10 or $100. If you study for 30 minutes or 2 hours, if you build something small or something bigger, what matters is starting today, now. Because while you wait, the power bill is due. Time passes, dreams cool off, and the freedom you want gets farther away. So here's my invitation. If this video helped you in any way, hit the like button right now. Share it with someone who needs to hear this. And of course, subscribe to the channel and activate the bell. Here, we speak the truth, no fluff. With ideas that change your mind and your financial life. See you in the next video. Now go and start.